Oh shit! Hello, everybody! Maris Rey, Water Dragon Extra. Oh, why did I log out here? Oh well, maybe I guess this is for the best that I logged out here. I guess we're doing this Ruin Guards real quick. I don't remember logging out here. Oh. Okay, quickly. If these guys could stop spinning would be lovely.
Time for takeoff. Would gliding be faster? Let's play. Billowing surge.
Why do I have no stamina?
Now he shall perish.
Oh yeah, I love that Raiden Shogun seemingly just super armored through the majority of that. Okay, well, I guess it's a nice change of pace that we started off fighting these guys. I didn't really expect to. I forgot that we logged out here. I didn't even think too much of it yesterday. But, so the way I wanted to start today's stream, but evidently I didn't get to, is I had a realization. Okay. I was scouring through the leagues of the internet and speaking with a few different, I guess you would call them experienced community members for Genshin Impact. That obviously I don't have Kazuha yet. However, I was planning to use this setup for my Kazuha's artifacts. EM, with energy recharge to spare, right? It makes sense. Very Maiden's beloved. However, I think I do have a very decent here. That's EM. I guess it doesn't matter if I use... I would almost want to switch to this, that way I could switch this out to put if I swap this out at this point in time, this will allow me to use how do I want to phrase this? Let's theory craft here. Let's really theorize the method of this madness. Okay, obviously we're gonna put all this into it. Let's level up based on the level. So we could put some stuff that we don't particularly need anymore. Like, I don't realistically think I'm going to use this. So I feel like it's pretty safe to let go of it. Oh wow, this is way better. Okay, I'm satisfied with that fact. Okay, decent feather. Not bad either. Wait, was this a circlet? Actually, we could probably let that go. Okay, this is a semi-boring part of this leveling process here. Is I do have a lot of excess artifacts that I need to do away with at this point in time. But this is actually going to change some things up because, for one, it will potentially allow me to, I guess, experiment with a better potential setup. I guess before I continue, I should actually see if I have another piece of any kind that's like that. It does need to be EM main stat though. So I suppose I'll do EM first. Interesting. I guess I could throw this as a component. Anyways, we'll continue working with what we're working on. Iridescent. This was the one. And it's quite a nice one, I must admit. No conceals. Okay, so we'll continue. Bad flower. Bad, bad. Are these bad in general? For this particular set, yes, I would say so. These are quite bad as well. Decent looking circlet. It's not really a good circlet. Okay, so I don't intend to make this a full-on artifact stream, but this could potentially open some things up because it might allow us to actually correct sucrose as well. Which, at the end of the day, that could be lovely. Okay, so what is this? I'm basically never using this artifact set again, I think, so I could just... If the set's not looking perfect, I could just get rid of them all. Yeah. Kind of the same thing here. I'll leave that to chance. Nope, not good enough. There's some chance there. Not good enough. There's some chance. Don't like it. I do like that, though. Or actually, this is HP. For some reason I thought this was Goblet, so I actually do need to keep that for now. I can't really afford to keep that one, though. Nor that one. Nor that one. Okay, we got a 2x bonus, which is nice. Let's see if we can roll into energy recharge one more again. Okay, flowers. Let's get rid of any bad flower. This is a bad flower. Bad flower, bad flower. Bad, bad, bad. Will that get me to 20? Unfortunately, it wasn't into energy recharge again. However, I do think that this was actually a better... Yeah, I mean, it just overall is actually better, so we can swap that out, which then allows us to put this on sucrose. And then I could actually just throw on like this one. And for this one, I think I'm just going to feed it that... Where is the piece that I just had? Huh? Was it not this piece here? Oh, is it because it's locked? Of course. No, I don't want to enhance this. Oh man, I'm all over the place now. Okay. Enhance. Okay. Because this was overall a bad piece. So let's enhance this, see if we hit any doubles. Unfortunately not. And we're not really getting too lucky with the energy recharge, but that's okay. Nope. Nope. Oh, hold on. That could be good. Nope. 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 And unfortunately, no. It really not hitting any decent parts in the... What would you call it? Duplicate, or the artifact bonuses, the experience bonuses. Sorry, I'm a little confused with my thoughts here. I'm trying to make sure I'm not wasting potentially good artifacts. Okay, I'm about satisfied with those. Oh, nope. Okay, so like I mentioned before, this kind of opens up some wonderful changes for us. I could potentially use that. I could potentially use that too. Although the potential's a bit less. I see less opportunities to use that one though. Yeah. Oh wow, that's a nice looking piece. Nope, gonna have to walk past this artifact piece here. Let me see, not good enough. Nope, nope. Okay, that's... Okay, so unfortunately just missed energy recharge the whole way up. But this does still have a fantastic amount of energy recharge, which I know, so it's 233 minus 61.3. 233 minus 61.3. So that's 171 energy recharge, which I think will end up being good enough for Kazuha. Plus, we end up fixing Sucrose here as well, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check. Because now she manages to keep 3 elemental mastery, which should improve the amount of supporting capability she'll be able to provide for the team in general. Okay, so now we can continue on to what the actual discussion was that I was foreseeing, and that was the simple fact that I think I made a mistake by preemptively building the sack sword when I'm actually thinking of how I was going to, I guess, take on Kazuha once his rerun happens. So initially I thought I would use sack sword with the artifacts I think are fine. But because I'm intending to chase Kazuha's constellation to at least C2, to at least C1, with hopes for C2, just having him at C1, I think will change the energy requirements that he'll ultimately need, correct? Because at that point in time, he won't need to be as close to 200 anymore, because he will have an extra use of his ability. So, to that measure, I leveled up to Sack Sword for seemingly nothing. So what I'm going to level up instead is... Do I have one even? I do not have one even, but I can go make one, I think. And that's exactly what we will do if we're capable of it. But I'm thinking if we're going to chase Kazuha at that type of constellation, then it makes sense for us to give him the Iron Sting, which I think is a craftable weapon. We'll have to double check here. I've almost never used any of these crafted weapons, so this will be quite the experience for me. Okay, let's see if I would even have enough. Let's see, Iron Sting. Okay, so I could make... Let's see, how many do you need in total? I guess I could just start off with one, and if I need more later, I could just get more later. So how long does this take to craft? Okay, this is nearly done. But in theory, I could R5 this without much of an issue. Let me go ahead and obtain this Iron Sting. So, I don't know who I'm going to put this other sack sword on, but it's quite a shame. I spent quite a lot of resources into it, but it won't go to waste, I can tell you this much for true. Because I just simply need to filter this by sword characters. Obviously ignoring these characters. So, I could just give the better sack sword to Xingqiu, and then I could use his smaller sack sword on Kaya for whenever I build Kaya. Yeah, I suppose that will work. Okay, so let's just change the amount then. So it goes from 50 to 61, which that should already be a world of improvement for him. Yeah, I imagine it should be quite the big deal. Okay, so that's that. So we're actually going to change, obviously, the tone of the stream a bit here, and we're going to now chase leveling this weapon. Because obviously we'll need to do so. So we'll see, based off of the amount of stuff that I already have, if I'll be able to take this as far as I'd like. And if not, then oh well. If that makes any sense. I'm sure you understand what I mean. We'll see how far I can take this without spending resin, and then I'll try to use resin to cover up the rest. I'm sure you understood what I meant there. Max EXP reached. Yeah, I find that this will probably be the best way to actually build my Kazuha, based off what I have, in any case. Because I think, I was initially weighing the difference between using Kazuha Freedom Sworn versus getting his constellations. And at the end of the day, I think it's actually better to just chase his constellations. I know there's at least like some thought in going one way or the other, but I'm a little lost in that thought myself. Don't really know how to, or I was lost, but largely aside, based off of the people I've spoken to and the tiny bits of research I've done on my own accord, I have determined for my own sake that the Iron Sting will be my best course of action for Kazuha. And on top of that, that chasing his constellations will be more worthwhile for my team over the Freedom Sworn. Yeah. So that's my final verdict. So let's see if I can craft more of the bit of whatever that is. Okay, let's see what we're working with. Weapon Ascension, bit of arrow something. Need to craft 5 of them. Let's see, let's use Kamisato Ayaka. Yeah. I wonder if it's better to use Mona. I don't know. In any case, let's see how close we are to getting it to 90. We're already pretty fortunate with how much we've like farmed in general, or just collected from events or the battle pass, because this is actually saving a significant amount of time. We're almost already done with this weapon, basically from scratch, without having realistically done anything to it. Alright, so we have it up to 80 for now. Luckily, I do have spares of these resources, so that way. Let me see if there's any possible way to get a gold one of that. Let's see. I feel like my chances are dismal. Okay. Unless every single one of these gets a bonus. Alright, bonus in the wrong way in any case. So I can only craft one of these, which is not enough as of right now. So I am ultimately going to need to spend a tiny bit of this. I might be able to get this done relatively quickly. We'll see. And I believe I've spent all my fragile resin, so if I'm not done with it right now, then, you know, it won't really ultimately change my life much. Even if I've completed it right now, nothing really changes, because obviously I don't have Kazuha to begin with. So I'm not that pressed about it. Oops, this isn't where I wanted to be. I wanted to check my fragile resin. Yep, I'm all out of fragile resin, which might be for the better. I'm glad I spent it. I'm pretty sure I spent it on the Emblem of Severed Fate that day, and I'm glad that I did. Okay, this looks like a freeze team type of domain. Maybe not exactly this team though. Let's use the straight up
Need my help as usual?
the straight up true Ayaka team. The well, what do you call it? The Ayaka version of Morgana team. Whatever it is, we're gonna use this team. I think it'll ultimately end up being fine.
Think you can get away? Delve into destiny. Coming from what? Surrender. Having your drink? Huh? Take an answer. Brace yourself. Ha! Fate is upon you. Whirling snow. Time for takeoff. Yahoo! Let me scry.
Let me scry. Okay, pretty easy. Let me see if maybe I can get a golden one just right away. That'd be pretty boggers. Hey, yo, 2 purple ones? That's already a pretty big, I guess, step forward to completing the Iron Sting today. How fortunate. Got pretty lucky, all things considered. I want to say I could probably, if I get another purple, I might even be able to be done right now.
There you are. Here we go. Delve into destiny. Look at you, Booth. Decided by destiny. My apologies. Think you can get away? Let me amuse myself. Sakura swirl. Let me scry.
Popped her in the head with a little water bubble. Let me scry. Okay, well, not like that. I'm not getting it. But we're still pretty close. I think. I mean, I can guarantee that I could finish this today.
There you are, eavesdropper. Ayana special. Time for takeoff. Yahoo! Kami-sato art. Surrender. Delve into destiny. Here to play with me. Think you can bully me? Look at you. Take flight.
I don't know what was that.
Think you can get away? Here we go.
That was surely unneeded, but whatever. This is fine in any case. Come on, I need at least one more purple out of this. Yeah. Okay. Now the luck's starting to fade a bit. I know that won't be enough, because I still need to get 3 more goldens. And I just don't have that yet.
Are you here to play with me? Time for takeoff. Yahoo!
Let me scroll. Okay. Now if I can just conjure a purple artifact here, then I will be... I should be close enough to... Oh. I'm not getting too lucky. Let's see if this is enough, though. All of a sudden, I'm getting a bit doubtful. But we'll see. We'll see ultimately at the end of the day. Wait, let's see. Weapon Ascension. There's still some chance that I can hit a bonus here. Okay, so I do still need to craft 2 more. I'm still using Mona and I'm not supposed to be. Oh, well, okay, I'm done then. Never mind, I'm done. And I got a bonus in any case. Okay, Iron Sting accomplished. What items else did I need to craft it though? It was energy and the bone. Okay, so I need 8 bones and some amount of energies. Okay, let's see the bones. I need 8 of these, which looks easy enough to craft. Luckily, we do get those sometimes. And I don't remember how many of these I end up needing, but I'll craft like 80 of the regular ones. Only 4 bonus. Nice. I'll craft like 15 of these because I don't know how much I'll end up needing. And no bonus at all. Damn, that's unlucky. Okay, Traveler. Enhance. Should be more than enough. Okay, well now this is a rightfully true weapon for Kazuha that we should have nice and ready for him once he's finally within my grasp. And like mentioned before, there's absolutely 0 chance that I don't get him. I am guaranteed to get my Kazuha. Absolutely guaranteed. I cannot miss. But you look at that. Those are pretty nice stats, I'm not gonna hold you. And so let's see. Like, look at this Elemental Mastery, 820, and don't forget Kazuha. I think Kazuha has his own innate Elemental Mastery as his Ascension stat, which if I recall correctly, I think it was 115. So we could take this 820 plus 115. So he would have around 930 Elemental Mastery, which, I mean, come on now. That's insane. And like I mentioned before, at the end of the day, it's still a pretty okay amount of energy recharge. Considering that it's all coming from here, plus 72, I think it's a pretty sound Kazuha build. Okay, what is this? Is this a new event? Core of the Apparatus. I don't remember seeing that event. So, well, I guess that's a new event we could finally do. Some more content for today. As well, I'd like to mention... Let me see, I haven't claimed any of these. I'll just do these for fun real quick. Just to get my rewards, I guess. But I'll take the time to mention that I will definitely not be streaming Overwatch 2 today, unfortunately. That's just the way it goes today. I just don't have the time right now. Let's get out of here. I've never once really considered whether or not I would use my Chang'an as well. And he's another one that I believe I have him at C6, just... I don't know how to use him. I don't know where to use him. There's so many things that I don't know how to... Like, maybe I don't have him perhaps optimized nicely enough. I don't really know how to expect to level him, I guess. Or even then, what teams does Chongyun go on? Let me see. What is a typical Chongyun team looking like? Like, I think Chongyun is probably still a good unit at C6, right? I mean, he must be good. So it looks like the only team that people sometimes use Chongyun on is Xiangling, Chongyun, Rosaria, and Bennett. Which I don't really understand how he's supposed to tie into that team in any case. I'm guessing it's supposed to be some type of melt team. Yeah, I mean, obviously, but reverse melt? It's a bit odd, I would say, but I guess he doesn't really have better options. I know at C6 this is supposed to do a ridiculous amount of damage, but I just never cared to level him up, I guess. Okay, so we have the Iron Sting fully completed, so we can actually continue on with doing the Emblem of Severed Fate. Although there is a part of me that thinks maybe we should perhaps do some Mora ley lines, because I'm starting to get... I wouldn't say I'm broke, yeah, because I still have 8 million Mora, but I'm starting to be concerned, I would say. But we won't do that today, I guess. Like I said, we'll go do Emblem of Severed Fate some more. I do think this is a fine place to be dumping resin on most occasions. Yeah, it's a shame that I've been stumbling with my artifact choices, and as a result of that, I've been losing out on some Mora. But look at what I ultimately achieved, right? So in a short amount of time, I got my Sucrose with 852 Elemental Mastery. I know that's not... Well, that's pretty high, all things considered. She's C6, she's a fantastic unit. I still need to take her to 90, but I'm not going to do that yet because... though I do have like some of the stuff to level her, like the gems and such, and the flowers, of course. Most of that at the moment, most of the rest of the stuff that I have monetarily is saved for Kazuha. But even at 70, she does her job just fine. Leveling her up will, of course, increase the total transformation damage on the swirls, which is a pretty big deal. Not to discredit her levels at all. But that's not at the top of my priority list right now. Right now, I still need to get my Zhongli some better artifacts. So as you'll notice, he's only on 2-piece emblem. Because this... Nope, not this. This... No, not that either. These two artifacts are temporary pieces that I just slapped on to him for the time being. Neither of these sets are even, or neither of these artifacts are even particularly strong. So, I'm still looking for a crit damage Emblem of Severed Fate and a crit damage and a HP Emblem of Severed Fate here. Of course, I would prefer if they have crit rate and crit damage on them. Of course, for the crit damage, I'm hoping it at least has crit rate and that it rolls into it at least once. If I could get those things to happen, then my Zhongli's ultimate, like, or ultimately the stats on his burst will be exponential. He'll be so strong. I can guarantee. Yep. Oh, this isn't my normal team for this. I just realized. But this should be fine even still. I normally use this exact team, but with the Yaka. So I guess I'll bring them over to the fire side.
Let me weave you a verse.
I mean, the damage is still nice.
Rain outlines your fate.
Hey, not as fast as I probably could do it with a Yaka, but I think I also misplayed that quite a bit. I also didn't have my Zhongli's ult when I wanted it. Okay, very good. Like I've mentioned in previous streams, I do think this artifact domain is one of the best in terms of resin efficiency, because it does come with, in my opinion, of course, the very best support artifact almost in the entire game. Oh, I messed that up a bit. Nope, that's not gonna hit who I need it to hit. I just failed all the way around here. Okay, well that's still, no matter which way you look at it, Zhongli's damage is way too impressive now. And he's not even particularly good. Like I mentioned, he's missing 2 decent artifact pieces. Right now he just has filler stats.
Quietly now. Here comes the catch. Not good. A minor set. Rain outlines your fate. Let me weave.
Solidify.
I think this is not exactly how I would want to do that, but I suppose this is fine. Fine-ish. I don't want to use, you know, just forget it at this point. I didn't want to use my E because I don't want it to, I don't know, save it for next to me. Don't ask me why, just forget what you saw there. Okay, not too great, but better than nothing. And this is why I was also partially not worried about spending my resin. I mean, not my resin, my artifacts, like the ones I was like dispersing earlier to feed into those elemental mastery pieces, is because since I'm expecting to farm this domain so much, I'm ultimately not worried about my total. I'm not worried about the total amount of artifact experience that I have remaining. Okay, it would certainly help if I could actually hit who I was targeting. Okay, I'm kind of failing here. Kind of failing a lot. But this was the last bit of resin that I had in any case. And not that great. I don't have any more resin to spend. There's no way I can afford to get any more resin to spend either. I have every fragile resin to my name used. Okay, let's switch to this and we go do the commissions. We just want to make sure we do this stuff first, like our commissions, spend our resin. That way we can go ahead and get to whatever like event we need to do. And like anything like that.
There is no escape.
or whatever other, like, I guess, side content we want to do. Ah, please. This really ain't much damage, but it's getting them. Yeah, pretty easy like always. It's because this commission is like almost always up in Mondstadt. Why I will never have to worry about having Hilichar material. Take a drink of water. Always make sure you're refreshing yourself. Of the utmost importance. I am something that one would call a hydro homie. Meaning, I fucking love water. Water is the pinnacle of life. I love it. Water's good for you. It's delicious. I know for health purposes, you're not really supposed to drink it ice cold. But you could treat yourself to ice cold water. I think you'll be fine. I know there's more benefits. I guess I'm no health expert, especially not to you humans, but I'm probably of the opinion here that I think water in general should be fine to consume, no matter the temperature. But there's extra benefits if the water you're consuming is a bit either room temperature or warmer. But I don't think there's a negative to drinking cold water. You're just missing out on the extra benefits of drinking it otherwise. Which, you know, as a treat, cold water's fine, I think. Not only fine, it's damn near delicious. Okay, the Sealy wants to take us on a whole ass mission, but we'll go ahead and finally get this done. An exquisite chest, I love it. Think Barbados. Wait. Oh, jeez. Yeah. I am unfortunately a bit busy today, so I can't do everything that I want to do, which is sad.
Illusion shattered.
I would like to play Overwatch 2 today, but that's just not going to happen. I mean, there's some potential chance that I might be able to get an Overwatch 2 stream, but you know how that goes. If that is the case, I'll let you know on Twitter, but I want to say don't get your hopes up. I was really excited to stream it yesterday, and I would have been really excited to stream it today as well. Overwatch 2 is a ton of fun. The new character might be a little busted. I can't really tell if she's really like too good, or we just like don't know how to play against her. But I do think the fact that the new character has what would you call it? The fact that the new character has anti-healing. Yeah, anti-healing tied into her ultimate is really, really strong. I'm not gonna hold you. So let's just do something super simple. Yes, we're honestly just gonna do like that for extra damage. And Zhongli, I know that Zhongli's shield doesn't affect anything, but it's just because they like to shoot me back.
Stabilize.
This way, Zhongli's shield will give me some protections.
Stabilize.
Okay. You think the homie wants it?
Order guide.
Oh, he wants it, huh? Hoo-wee. Oh man, the 50k meteors are just too much. It's so much easier to do this with Ganyu because I don't have to worry about actually climbing that damn tower. Now I have to climb the tower, but it was really annoying to do this quest the intended way. Yeah, now I can just climb it though. My Ganyu is not necessarily as strong as I'd like her to be either. So she's another fine one to work on in the near future. Climb the ladder, Venti. Hey, buddy. Lord Barbados, that's me. Pink Barbados. And is that all commissions done? Yes, sir. Let's go turn those in before we ever forget. Not that we would forget, but just a preventative measure. We'll turn this in, and then finally, we will do some overworld farming, because evidently we're going to need to make up for the loss that we just took on some of the Whopper Flower resources and some of the Ruin Hunters resources. They do come a-knockin'. We always need to make sure we're stocked up on those important resources, especially because I think there's a certain amount of it that we're going to end up needing for Kazuha's talents as well. Actually, let me double check what Kazuha's talent ascension materials are. That way I know to be stocked up with those as well. Kadehara. Kazuha. Okay, so to rank up his talents costs. They cost the treasure hoarder stuff. So to take all three to level 10, which I don't know if I'm going to do that particularly. But at the very least, I could probably do so. So long as I have, I think I'm going to take both of Kazuha's E and Q to rank 10, which should be, let's see, 95, 95, 76-ish. So I'll need about 76 total books of philosophy or diligence or whatever the hell his books are. Let me see which one, which book. Oh, the diligence. Yeah, I would need 76. Okay, so I can definitely afford to take his talent straight to 10. The only problem is it's going to cost many millions of Mora, which is why I'm saying I'm a little concerned Mora-wise at the moment. I'm surprisingly actually almost Mora broke. I don't clean this. It's clean. It's free core lapis, and I guess we'll need those. I won't really need any of those. I don't really need Sango pearls either. Yeah. Okay, so let's do the overworld farming like mentioned. Just I'll do it in the favorite ways that I always do it, which is starting with the Ruin Hunters, and then doing the Abyss Mages, and then depending on how I feel at the end of it, we'll maybe and maybe not do Whopper Flowers. Okay. All things are going according to plan.
Shine down.
Shine down.
Now you shall perish.
Very strong. I love my Raiden Shogun. And we got a Chaos Core right away. That's very nice. Anytime we get the purples, it ends up saving a lot of like extra time and resources. Obviously not immediately, but over time. And of course, part of this is due to the fact that I'm still a little broke in my Star Glitter. Let's see, where's my Star Glitter? There, oh, my Stardust, I'm sorry. The Star Glitter I have like an okay amount of at this point in time. Though I do suppose I could probably buy these as well if I needed them from here, but no, I don't think I will do that. I'm pretty sure it's not entirely worth it. Do this to try to offset some of the more difference that I have, but yeah, ultimately, okay, 155, we're doing pretty good. We have plenty of roll chances to get Kazuha, in my opinion. We're definitely going to be able to get him. I can't wait for Kazuha's rerun, whenever that may be. I can't wait. I know, like, in general, you shouldn't expect, like, even too much out of any one particular thing, because, like, for example, one thing that people will tell you is Kazuha leaps and bounds infinitely better than Sucrose in terms of being able to provide you Team Elemental Mastery? No. As a matter of fact, Sucrose is probably, in particular situations, a better Elemental Mastery support than Kazuha. So then you have to sit there and wonder, well, then why do people want Kazuha so much? It's just because he provides a lot of other utilities that... I mean, obviously, it's not to say that Kazuha's innately worse than Sucrose in any particular way. They do have some slight different niches to their compositions, I believe. Oh, this is gonna... Oh. Ooh, that's not good. Looks like Xiao's gonna have to take on this guy because Raiden Shogun cracked her back on the pavement. I guess I'll take this time to drink some water myself. Every time I see the jellyfish splash, it makes me thirsty. Okay, have a drink. Ah, jeez. I do want to say, though, this has been one of the things about streaming that I didn't anticipate, which I guess, in all honesty, it should have been fairly obvious to me, but I just didn't really recognize it as a potential problem at the time, was the simple fact that when you're having to speak as much as you are, or as much as like I do, to try to be at least, you know, a hint of entertainment. But speaking as much as a streamer does, I get thirsty. I get thirsty really quickly and easily. Star Conch. It surprises me sometimes. Like I'm saying, I know it's fairly obvious. If you're speaking, that means wind's passing through your mouth constantly, which, you know, I get it. Plus, I've mentioned before, my streaming room, or I guess to say the setup where I stream at altogether, it gets pretty hot, so I always have to have a fan on, because, I mean, this absolute titan of a computer that I ended up having, you know, computers generate a lot of heat. Like, unless you have the absolute tops of the like cooling systems. I mean, even then, it's not like the heat dissipates altogether. It just gets dispersed a little better, right? No matter what, if you're using a computer, it's going to generate heat. Sometimes a considerable amount of heat. And as it turns out, my computer's fairly close to me. And so this streaming setup overall, because of the way that I have to have my room laid out, it gets a bit hot in here. So I always have to have this fan on. Now having this fan on as well kind of dries out my mouth, my tongue, lips, everything gets a bit dried out. Which, it's another thing when I'm thinking about like my streaming setup and all this. It's something that wasn't initially one of my factors. It was an unforeseen problem, I would say. Something you wouldn't think of while you're trying to set everything up. Maybe you might have, but I certainly didn't. Oh, that's the wrong way. Yeah, so point being, I get hot.
Time for takeoff.
It's hot.
Brace yourself.
Computer makes a lot of noise. My mouth dries out because of all these other factors.
Here we go.
This shit's rough.
Allow me.
Okay, that wasn't actually the guy I was supposed to fight. I'm just gonna teleport back up. It's just gonna do a quick this and then phase back here. I didn't mean to go to the Abyss Mage. I don't remember that he was even there.
Illusion
It was a happy accident that I happened to stumble upon him.
Now you shall perish.
You see, certain characters I also get a little tired of their combo rotation. Like, I don't really like to optimize Raiden Shogun's damage per second and her ultimate. That you more or less have to dash cancel her charge attack. That way it gets, you know, like I was mentioning, the highest damage per second. Obviously. But it's just a bit annoying. Because you have to, like, get it at just the right animation, but you have to do it in a way that you don't accidentally cancel it before the damage even deals, or else you're just going to straight lose all this extra damage per second, and then you will be sitting there wondering why you were doing it in the first place. But evidently I need to kill these Geo guys. I'm just gonna include him in the mix because he gives me those bones that I was using. And together, they should shock each other enough that I could probably defeat them both pretty evenly.
Illusion shattered. Hold the line.
Yep, as I imagined. We got a purple outfit. That's pretty pog chump. Okay, let's go to, I think this is finally the 4-piece Ruin Guard area, and we already did the island, don't forget, we accidentally logged in the island, so we don't have to worry about doing that. Okay, let's go ahead and float on down here. I can't wait to get Kazuha. I've been dreaming about having him. I literally rejoined after my break from last year. I rejoined like the moment Kazuha left.
There is no escape.
Almost as if him leaving was what sparked me to return. And the day his banner went, I was like, oh man, I regret heavily not having him. I can't help but notice that there's a Rune Guard over there. Is he an active one or is he inactive? Because if he's an active one, I'm gonna be so upset. We surely don't active, right? Okay. I'm semi-glad that he's not active, because if I would have been embarrassingly skipping him all these days as well, I don't know if I would ever be able to recover from that. Should probably get those rocks, but I'll just do the overworld rock farming after all of this as well. Because as I understand it, I'll eventually need those rocks with all the rocks that I'm going to be spending on potentially R5ing the Iron Sting. I'll need to look up if it's particularly worth it to R5 the Iron Sting. I'm sure that it is, in all honesty. But it's always fine to do extra research. Defeated him. I could run the simulator real quick to see how big of a difference it is to R5. Obviously, I know that it'll increase his damage. That's just statically what it does. I just need to see if the amount that it actually increases is significant enough for me to warrant doing it. Because honestly, at this point in time, I'm like actually concerned about my Mora. Okay, let's quickly do that. Like I said, kind of semi-quickly here. Group these. Some bing bong. And we're gonna, oops, you're not supposed to see that yet. Okay. Forget what you saw, that was one of my discords. Okay, so let's take a look at Kazuha. Again, I'll try to do this as quickly as possible. So this is like not an unrealistic situation to be in, because as a matter of fact, this is where I intend to be. I think it should be fairly easy to get 2 stacks of Iron Sting, and you should be expected to be at 2 stacks of Iron Sting. So let's just max all these artifacts out. Very, 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 very... Yeah. Okay, so this is a pretty safe amount of, I suppose, elemental mastery to assume that I'd have. Evidently, I would have higher than this because of whatever the case. I don't have a good reason to tell you that. I have higher, in general, substats, I suppose. But right now, I can't really sim the substats on here. It's really hard to do that. Or it seems to be difficult for no particular reason. Okay, so 3,500 swirls versus... Ooh. That's interesting. So we don't actually benefit too greatly from swirling. Or, the swirls don't appear to benefit at all from the extra refinement? Is this the case? It's hard to tell, I must admit. Obviously, there's at least some benefits to doing this, because... Let's see, the animal high plunge damage, or let's look at the whole damage. So 3,400 average goes up to about 3,700. It doesn't really seem that beneficial to R5, the Iron Sting. I'm not gonna hold you. Maybe I would have to look it up to see somewhat differently if there's some other benefit that I'm perhaps missing. to R5ing it. Maybe the calculator's wrong in its assessment. Maybe it does directly affect swirls, but in this particular case it doesn't appear to be proving that it does. It's a bit intricate. I'm a bit surprised by that. I feel like I would want to still R5 his Iron Sting even still, just because I want my Kazuha to be the best form of himself.
Illusion shattered. Allow me.
I want to have the best version of Kazuha that I can get for myself. As a not free-to-play player, but also not whale type of guy. I think that's all of the Ruin Guards. Let's do the Abyss Mages. I think we definitely need to do the Abyss Mages. We might even need to do Whopper Flowers after all. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't think we need to do Treasure Hoarders at all. We should always kill the Sirid Mages on the way to whatever objective we're doing.
Think you can get away? Rebuild.
Okay. Easily defeat her. She usually just gets caught up in one event healed and she's done for. That's why I don't have that much concerns about her. So I do wonder who I'm going to replace on my different teams to put Kazuha in. Like, I suppose I take Venti out of this team, right? And put in Kazuha?
There is no escape. Time for takeoff. Now you shall perish.
It died so fast. I didn't even get to really farm them for energy. I would say it's a shame, but it's to be expected, I guess. Oops, get down from there. Wait, unless, do I have anything to turn in? I doubt it, but what if? Oh, I'm not even in Mondstadt. I thought I was in Mondstadt territory. I knew that I didn't have any Geo stuff to turn in because we turned them in the other day. And I haven't found any since then, so I know that that's just how that looks. I know you must be a bit surprised to see that I've been streaming Genshin Impact for 6 months now, and been playing for 2 years, but I still allow my exploration progress to be as low as it is for all the areas. As a result, I know that there's still Primo Gems to be had. All the way around, there's Primo Gems to be had. Right? So that's why I know when the going gets tough, I have Primo Gems. I'm a little off center here.
Illusion shattered. Hold the line. Brace yourself.
Evil conquering.
That's a bit... Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, we managed to defeat him, if not a bit lazily. And it nearly took the entire shell ult to break his shield. That felt a bit weird. Okay, let's go on to this one. Usual, it shouldn't be a big problem. Maybe I'll just let him teleport out of there.
Shine dark. Trust and rebuild. Inazuma shines eternal.
I doubt this is a good idea because you pretty sure I won't even recover enough energy to use her ult again. Yeah, far from it. Oh well, these things happen. We can continue on. We haven't fought bosses this week, right? Well, we're also not in dire need to fight bosses yet. We do still have the rest of the week to do that. Could probably dedicate Saturday to fighting bosses, so don't let me forget on Saturday that we're fighting bosses. And by fighting bosses, I mean, you know, fighting the Raiden Shogun, fighting Senora, Azdaha, and Child. Yeah. Those are the 4 bosses that I tend to fight per week. Of course, I only just recently unlocked the Raiden Shogun fight. And what a fight that is. I gotta tell you, it's such a cool animations in this fight.
Allow me.
I just can't get over Michelle's damage sometimes. Especially after we fixed up his artifacts a bit. Because, mind you, I am using Royal Spear for whatever reason. So, first of all, he has a whopping, just a monumental... I don't think this is true. I think he has 2300 regularly. Watch, let me switch out, switch back in. Yeah, that was the Thrilling Tales from... The Thrilling Tales and the Tenacity from Kokomi. He has a massive 2300 base, or not base, I guess total attack. Thanks to having the percent attack from Royal Spear with the extra crit rate from it as well. This is, you know, this might seem pretty bad, but it's actually felt pretty okay. And like his artifacts are also not really that good. Like, look, not a single point rolled into crit. But it still rolled heavily into attack, so I kept it because I just didn't care, because I consider Shao to be mostly like my overworld unit. Look, that's not bad. This is really, really not good. So considering some of the worst artifacts you would have ever seen, he still hits a pretty good ratio, and his damage is still really consistent and nice. And overall, I'm still proud of this Shao. Like I said, he just does a lot for me still. Even being semi-badly built. Almost definitely badly built. But who cares? He still operates, like I said. 9 out of 10 times he operates extremely fine. The problem with him for me, though, is I just don't like playing with his rotation all that much. I know I've said that a few times today already with certain characters, but that's just the truth of it. I don't care to do like charge attack cancels. Now Shao has one of the more interesting cancels though, because, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I very easily could be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure his best rotation in his ultimate is you normal attack into a charge attack, and as soon as the charge attack happens, you hit a plunged attack right after. You can't do it outside of his ult, but I'm sure you understand what I mean. If not, I could try to demonstrate it against this next Abyss Mage. It's not that difficult to do, but it does require some commitment. That sometimes you know, same thing like what Raiden showed. When you miss it, it just feels bad because you end up wasting so much of your ultimate's total time. And it's just, what should have been a DPS increase all the way across the board ends up becoming a DPS loss overall. For no great reason. Okay, so let's try this. I'll show it to you now. So you go like that. You see, charge attack, plunge attack. And it's from what I remember reading at the time when he was like being released, as I've come to understand it, that's supposed to be his best rotation. Again, I am totally confident that I could be absolutely wrong. I would almost bet. I usually can just bet that I'm wrong. Okay, let's pick up some of these because I know I will eventually need these to level up catching. Seeing as we used a healthy amount of these to take my Zhongli to 90. Let's just look down the mountain. Oh, there's another Abyss Mage over here. This one's off the record. Didn't mean to suck all those up on Sai, because she certainly doesn't need the energy. Let me get back up here, because this was still... I still wanted to run down the mountain a little bit, but I didn't remember where you do that at. And I want to collect some of the core lapis. It's just a couple extra pieces. So this, as far as I can remember, I think was Cloud Retainer's home. Oh no, this was not Cloud Retainer's home. This was the first one's home, I think. I don't remember. Well, I mean, it might be Cloud Retainer. Well, I don't know, because I see those guys there, but I don't remember if they had any particular connections to Cloud Retainer. Because... actually, thinking back on it, wasn't Cloud Retainer's home the one that had the table out in the middle of the river, or the lake, sorry?
And away I go. Huh?
Gonna beat this up a bit. Probably enough core lapis. So we still haven't fought this, so let's go back up and actually get to fighting it. Could probably just stay with this team for now. I realize the running team's probably good enough to actually handle most of the overworld content, especially now that Zhongli's in burst mode. And Zhongli's bursts are nothing to mess around with. Saw that damage? I'm telling you, this team is really strong. Not Sayu, but you know. I saw he's only level 20, what does one really expect? Let's roll on out of here. This is order. Up there. Not that high up, I could probably just climb it. There was still a part of me that didn't want to even climb this much. I almost wanted to teleport up to the top left, the waypoint, and fly down. I hate climbing. For some reason, climbing just feels way worse than any other forms of travel. 40k. I don't think that was a crit. Or unless it was a crit. It didn't seem like a crit. Ooh. Ugh. Sneezed. Ugh. Okay, we just continue on. Whenever I get to this point in the Genshin Impact daily farming, I always start getting a bit tired because I know farming the overworld monsters is a bit boring, though necessary. I mean, I will need the materials. There's just no two ways about it. But boy, does it get a bit boring. I don't think anybody could blame me for admitting that. And so by the time I reach this point in the farming, I stop wanting to do the Whopper flowers. And I've consistently convinced myself not to do them.
Quietly now. Things are about to get dicey.
One smooth ultimate. You can effortlessly wipe the floor with the Abyss Mage. So, well, the fire one in any case. She could still do a lot of damage to not fire ones, but boy does she mess up fire ones. These treasure hunters, you wanna go?
Another test. Solidify.
I know I said I don't really need treasure hoarder stuff, and I don't, but I just felt like fight them because they're in the way. They're not really in the way, but I just wanted to test my moxie against them. And the fun is over. Dang. Not quite. Okay, so I could kind of side farm all this stuff here. Okay, I don't think there's that many more Abyss Mages to fight. I do hate that they're, like, since they are elite monsters and because they're elite monsters, Hoyoverse takes some steps of precaution by making sure there's not too many of them. We just need to fight this. So.
This is order.
Quietly now.
Quietly now. Okay, where's this Abyss Mage?
I will have order. Solidify.
I will have order. I ordered the Wrath of the Rock. Okay, it's no one up there, and what's nice is this one also comes with a Whopper Flower buddy. So that's two of them that come with Whopper Flowers. They're pretty close together.
Quietly now. Really? Things are about to get dicey.
Stabilize. Lament. Worthless.
Not much to talk about while fighting these, because they're just fairly simple creatures to defeat. Yep. So we can go do... I mean, I do still have kind of a lot, but also kind of not. So I guess I got no choice. I gotta go fight him a bit. Nothing I can do about it. Let's switch back to the Venti team though, because I do think Venti handles the flowers a bit better because they tend to like move and Venti stops them from doing that. Where is this thing? I can't find it. Oh, it's down there. It's down. I thought it was here. There it is. Okay, there it is. Oops. I didn't even have any stamina. It twisted Xiao's ankle. Look at that. That's very sound damage. So, sure, I don't have Xiao's best spear, which I think is like the primordial jade tip spear, right? Of course I don't have it because I don't tend to spend my primo gems on weapon banner. So yeah, like I was saying, naturally I don't have it. But even in this particular case, I still didn't bother trying to get Xiao like a deathmatch, even though I know that he'll do even more damage with deathmatch. I still didn't bother with that. I gave him, and I didn't even bother with a Black Cliff. I just got him a Royal Spear. And I assure you, it might not be his highest throughput, like iteration of him, but I assure you he'll still do tons of damage. You could see it from my Xiao. Sure, there's probably people out there whose Xiaos do twice my Xiao's damage. And, you know, power to them. I'm glad that their Xiao's stronger than me. As it rightfully should be so, considering how little I spend. I would never, ever expect my Xiao to come close to people who spend much more than I do. That's just, you know, how it goes. But at that same token, though, I want you to understand exactly how marginal the difference realistically is. I want to say, compared to... So obviously, there's people that'll have like C6, R5 of certain 5 stars, maybe even of 5 stars like Xiao. And sure, if getting him C6 is probably insane because he could just press E a lot, right? He could probably squeeze in an extra 3 E's just right there. I don't know for sure, but that's what it feels like. That's not good. They died too fast again. But you get what I'm saying, right? So, I'm not going to compare to those guys, the guys who are C6, R5. Can't compare with them. They're on a whole different universe than I am. However, if you can compare to somebody who's like C1, C2 at tops with a Refinement 1 weapon, all of a sudden, you can compare with these guys. And so, like, my Xiao, let's compare if my Xiao was C1. I mean, he is C1. But compared to another Xiao who's C1, but with the Primordial J-Tip Spear. Sure, that guy, just for having that weapon, even at R1, is probably going to do at least 25% more damage than me. But sometimes that's all that is 25% more damage. You get what I'm saying? Oh, this is not good. I had a feeling it was going to dodge me. Now, of course, I'm just kind of spitballing like theoretical numbers here. I don't actually know that it would be that little of a difference. Of course, I do have the calculator that we'd like to mess around with, that I could get more or closer to scientifically accurate numbers if we wanted to. We don't really want to do that right now. I know in general I like to mess around with the calculator, but not right now. Right now I just want to farm out my stuff so that we're not doing this all day. We're already an hour and a half into the stream and we're just doing basic overworld stuff now. And so I'd like to move on from this a bit quicker if possible. Or I don't want to get too sidetracked, because I actually do have other stuff to do today. Like I mentioned, I'm a bit busy this day, which is why, unfortunately, there will be no Overwatch 2 stream. It's unfortunate. What are you gonna do? I want to do it, can't do it. That's just how it goes, right? Don't forget to drink some more water. You always keep that 40-ounce flask on me.
There is no escape. Time for takeoff.
Okay, that should recover, yeah, because the plus 15 energy from his ult actually ending.
Here we go.
Hey, Upsy Daisy. And we're up here to get the next Whopper Flower. And there shouldn't be that many more Whopper Flowers left to go.
Shine down. Allow me. Think you can get away? Let's play. Useless.
That's not going to be enough, huh? Or maybe just barely? No, I knew it was just barely not going to be enough. Ay, ay, ay. Yep. Because of that, I know I kind of like wavered on this conversation for a while now, but I do think so long as you can afford to get crit stats on your weapon in some way, even if it comes through the royal weapons. Now, some classes I think you have no shot with the royal weapons, you know? I'm not gonna hold you. I think if you're like trying to utilize royal weapons on a claymore user, there's probably no way. You're never gonna get the crit stacks fast enough, I think. Welcome to be proved wrong, like always. If you're a royal weapon enjoyer on a claymore user, I'd like for you to show me the way. Because again, right now I'm speaking purely theoretically. I haven't actually tested the royal weapons on a claymore user, but I can't imagine that it would be that successful.
Illusion shattered. Time for takeoff. Useless. Yahoo!
That's just my assumption. Okay, that's the end of the farm. Alright. It was totally necessary for us to do that. Absolutely. I won't be convinced otherwise. We needed to do these overworld farms for all the... Because we're like rapidly leveling people, leveling weapons, leveling talents. Like we need all the resources we can get right now. So let's see what this event's all about. Right on cue. This is just about to reach out to you. Commission the suit first. Don't tell Paimon that you want us to look for things or drive villagers off. Student, it's fun and there are rich rewards to be had as well. Coin merchant from Fontaine. So it looks like we're finally going to get another insight into Fontaine. Which again, I'll reiterate, another concept that I was saying before. I do think that I still want to aim for C6 on the twins that come from Fontaine, Liney and Lynette. I want them. You couldn't possibly... It lit up. You couldn't possibly understand how deeply I want them. You know, I can't leave Rito at the moment. Please go and ask him about the details of the commission. Bet. Let's see, where's Rito? Oh, it's all the way up here. Okay, let's see what this event's all about. It looks like it's yet another way for me to get free Primo Gems, and I'm all about Primo Gems. The Fontaine guys dress kind of differently. Also, each toy for thousands of more. Then, with tens of thousands of them sold, I can easily earn tens of millions. Yeah, that's quite a dream. Just do leyline moras, or do more ley lines. Duh. You want more? It's just sprouting out of the ground. Memories being built as of now. You can register and make a deposit if you're interested. I'll inform you when the toys are ready, and then you can proceed to pay the balance. Oh, you aren't toy buyers, so if you've got something to say, tell me quick, don't waste my time. Be concise, my time is precious. Ah, so you're the assistant sent by the Adventurers Guild. Welcome, you could have told me earlier. Yes, I did put up that request. How should I address you two? Paimon is Paimon. Then how about you? I'm Maris Rey. I think I've heard this name before. Were you once a wanted criminal too? Criminal too? Was once arrested by the Tenryou Commission due to a small accident. Yeah, it seems quite difficult to get arrested by the Tenryou Commission. I just missed something when I made the last batch of toys. It really was a small mistake, not a big deal. I don't think so. Exploding seems like kind of a big deal. Lovely looking bombs. This is like Klee as an adult male. You obviously had this coming. Yeah, you probably did. Oh, so you don't actually have anything of value right now. They even got even more popular. Yeah, because they were just buying them as bombs. What do you mean? Anyways, my plan still fails in the end. I'll pay off my debt by giving all the toys to Kurisu. Please lend me a hand. What do you want us to help you with? Well, all my toys are produced by this machine that I built. It's called one of a kind, never failing, engineer grade, second generation furnace powered machine. No, I'm not doing that again. Yep, but I don't think about it. Let's call it the Great Machine. The easier it is to remember. Yeah. Just this once. That's true. The Great Machine's not really that much better. Automatically analyze the materials added into it and then choose the most appropriate method to assemble. The last time I added some strange mechanics that caused the toys to explode. So this time I've reflected on the mistake and rebuilt the machine. Theoretically speaking, it should be fine. Ah, so he wants us to test it, huh? Ores, fruits, and flowers. I have those. Infused materials with elemental energy. Oh, so this is just gonna essentially be no different than doing that thing we're supposed to do weekly. The item. That I never use. I always forget about. Equip the material collector and carry out the collection of required materials. When you collected the required amount of materials, the material collector's progress will increase. After it reaches 100%, you'll enter the next process. Interesting. So, oops, that's not what I meant to do. That means I have to use this. Then I have to go get 3 wild ore. That's simple enough. You could just do that in Mondstadt. Go speak to the to the blacksmith. Get him to tell me where the ores are. I probably needed to do this anyways. Any tips? Yeah. Okay, let's go get it really quickly. the emphasis on really quickly. Don't want to spend too much time farming out here in the world.
Solidified.
We need some flowers. Collect 3 flowers. Okay, well, your flowers are gonna have to wait anyways. Oh, actually, these small grass lamps will probably be perfect.
Busted.
Yep, seemingly you could find almost all the stuff you need right out here in, what is this area called again? Oh yeah, Wolvendom. I've been pretty forgetful with the names of some of this stuff. Okay, that's already everything. Wolvendom seems to be top tier for this. Unless it's something that we have to do daily. I mean, more than once a day. Which I doubt it. Okay, let's hit up all these areas really quickly. It doesn't take that long. That's why I'm like not concerned with doing this before going back on the way to that quest. Yeah, this does not add that much time to our dailies. And we will eventually need it. It doesn't ultimately give us that many crystal chunks, at least some of the parts of it. But that's okay as well. Because I know a couple of them by heart. Let's see, that's all the ones that'll show me in Mondstadt. But if I pretend to do the crystal core area, I know where there's a couple more. Okay, jump, jump, jump. Beautiful. So there's often 2 patches of ore right there that I could usually hit up. And so I'll get these ores and the crystal flies from there, and I'll probably move on. I barely ever use the crystal flies anymore. It would take me kind of a long time to use the 130 that I have in any case. Let's catch all these and bang up the job. You guys don't see anything.
Stabilize.
Oh. Oh. How is he shooting me? Okay, well that's all the stamina I have.
Solidified.
I'll be honest, I don't know how he's shooting me, but it's probably okay. I'm just gonna collect my Noctilucous Jades while I'm here. Again, I don't really remember who uses Noctilucous Jade, but I know somebody does. There's one more little spot I know. Yeah. It has a nice little abundance of various ores and resources. I'm always more than happy to come here.
Gather.
Gotcha. Useless.
Let's see. Look at all this jade. And did I already get? There should be one core lapis here too, right? Or did I already get it? I must have got it the other day. I'm assuming, or was that it right there? And I just already picked it up. I'm assuming that's the case. Okay, so let's move on then. Let's go back over here. I don't expect we should. This event doesn't seem like it's probably going to take that much time, unless. It seems like it's just going to be one of the daily, like, collect and turn in type of things. How's it going? You collected any materials? They're all in the collector. And then we add them to the great machine. Fine. The great machine. Totally impossible. Yeah, feeding all three processes in order to produce a device. That's so troublesome. Okay. But please come back later. So I guess he's probably gonna tell me to come back tomorrow? Or is that just it for now? Give me this, thank you. Yes, see, they're not even available yet. But I at least got some primo gems out of it, which is always appealing. Let's see what we're working with. I think I should still be at 155. Yeah, I didn't get any closer. In any case, I think we have a pretty good chance, I want to say, at getting Kazuha to at least C1, though I am hoping to get him to C2. Let's look at the maths here. Because I do plan, if necessary, to buy all of this. If and only if it's necessary. Of course, no matter what, I plan to buy all of this anyways before the next anniversary resets it again. And that way I can try to save up as many primo gems as I can to get the twins to as high as a constellation as I can. But I'm also not holding my breath too closely for that. Oh no. I didn't mean to actually click that, sorry. Let me go back before it starts opening some things I don't need it to. So I'm gonna open up my calculator here to see exactly how much we would end up with, assuming that I didn't buy all of this. 6480 times 2, 1296, 3280. 19. Now I'm 80. 100 plus 120. So that would give me about 26,000 primo gems if I bought all of this. So 26,000 plus, let's do the 24,872 that I have. And that would put me to a current total of 51,000 primo gems, and divide that by, say, 160. 1,600, sorry. If that's not right. And then divide this by 600. And that would be 31-ish. 31 10 rolls, it seems. So, assuming I don't go... So, if I was to buy all of this, it guarantees me to go to 90 twice. And... No, I'm sorry. It guarantees me to lose the 50-50 and to go to 90 twice and still be able to get Kazuha to C1. Though, with any luck, I would be able to get him to C2. So that's currently the plan. I want Kazuha C2. That's how I would like to end my Kazuha adventures with. Merchant, what do you sell? What do you say here, Robert? I don't know. It sounds like a good idea. Snezhnaya. Okay, so he didn't really offer me anything too particularly great. And let's see, I forgot. Oh yeah, this resets when the month resets, I think. Let's go to the Statue of the Seven. I only have 3 Electroculus to turn in, but maybe that's enough to get a level. I don't remember. Oh no, far from it. I do need to get this eventually if I want to get Electro Traveler to C6. Not that I ever use Electro Traveler. Not that I use Traveler in general. Maybe one day.
Busted.
This is order. Disappear.
Look at that damage. I'm telling you, the Zhongli still does quite a lot of damage. It may not be a perfect amount of damage, but it's still... You know, it's like I said, I have so much potential to get stronger.
About to get dicey.
These guys aren't gonna kill, are they?
Worthless. Worthless. Useless. I will have order.
Oh, you're joking.
Stabilize.
Winter shall eventually.
Unsolicited.
This
And all the more
absolute cock. She prevented me from my cool experience.
stabilize.
Okay, try to get Zhongli's ult back as quickly as possible. Apparently there's an Electroculus up here somewhere. Maybe it's rather to say down here somewhere. Oh, was this the same area that I was doing Kokomi's quest in? Because if it is, then I don't have any idea how to get to this Electroculus. Why would it give me this? I thought it was going to give me some of those flying things. Chest here, might as well check it out, I guess. Oi.
Order guide you. Disappear.
Disappear.
Her Majesty's gift. Gotcha. Useless.
Useless.
Out of my sight.
What?
Winter.
Still not really ideal, but I do like how much damage Zhongli is doing.
And all the more
Even as weak as he currently is. Like he's only like at 80% of his true power. Okay, well, I'll be honest with you, I don't know where I'm gonna get this Electroculus from. I don't know where it is. It seems to be up here somewhere. It sure beats the hell out of me where. Oh, you wanna throw down? Come on, team up.
Things are about to get dicey. Take it easy.
Ah,
I will have order.
Gotcha. Game's up.
this is not good.
Stabilize.
Or it might be fine even still. Where did these guys come from? Did they come here leaving? Where's he going? That guy just said, peace out, my guy.
Things are about to get dicey.
Order guide you.
This is gonna be a big ult, I can already tell. Yeehaw! What'd I tell ya? Bro, Zhongli is gonna be such a huge improvement to my team. I can't even imagine just how useful he'll be down the line. What? I don't care about these notes. Want your items. Okay, well I guess get me out of here for now. I'll heal up at the whatever this is. The statue. Though I doubt it'll help me all the way because my guys require quite a hefty amount of HP. I'm not gonna hold you. And then let's see. I think that's it. I don't think there's any way I could realistically do anything else today. I mean, I could surely do. Or I could have tried to do like story quests, but I don't have the means today. I'm like kind of out of time already. Like realistically, I ran out of things to do like 10 minutes ago, but I'm trying to like stall for the 2-hour mark on the stream. Yeah, I'm pretty close to getting this to the next level, to be honest with you. It's a shame I need to go 2 more levels to get these extra Acquaint Fates. And I don't have any more here, but I'm expecting to get a 5-star from the standard banner pretty soon. Well, I suppose that's it for Genshin Impact for today. I don't have any other content to do for now. I would have liked, like I mentioned before, to stream Overwatch 2 today, but I just don't have the time today. Unfortunately, it's unfortunate. I might be able to do something later on today, but like I said, I wouldn't get my hopes up in that regard. So, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart so much for coming out and showing me your support. If you're new here, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel and like the stream. Follow me on my Twitter, link in the description below to know anything that I might be talking about on Twitter. You usually will go to Twitter. And finally, if you like the content that you saw and you'd like to see content similar to this, you can ring the notification bell. And to top things off, this has been Maris Rey, Water Dragon Extraordinaire. And I hope I'll catch you guys at my stream tomorrow, because I do plan to stream every single day. Just one condition to know, though, is on Thursdays I stream a little bit later than usual, because I still play Breath of the Wild with my grandma every Thursday. And it's just something that we do weekly. Eventually that's going to come to an end, and then when it comes to an end, you know how that'll go. Then the Thursdays will go back to the regularly scheduled times. Same with the rest of the week. Alright? Well, I always end up doing this, so I have to start again from the top. Partially. This has been Maris Rey, and I hope I'll catch you guys at tomorrow's stream. Alright? Alright. Peace, lates, and stay hydrated. Bye!